Honorable members, now shall we allow the Honorable Dr. Musimba, order members, we are not taking any more points of orders. Honorable Dr. Musimba, can you move the motion?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to move this motion, an expression of displeasure. I just wanted a quick clarification, Madam Speaker, that notwithstanding the provisions of 91, with the provisions of our standing orders 91, I would like to table the facts with the speakers, with the clerks, as well as I want to move that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 87-1, and noting with concern that the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Justin Bidan Muturi, EGH MP, has and continues to degrade the character and the ability of the honorable members of this august House through making of contemptuous, malicious, and unfounded allegations against them, aware that the said allegations have eroded the collective dignity, esteem, and honor of the members of Parliament in and out of the House, concerned that the Speaker, in so doing, has failed in his constitutional duty to protect the dignity, honor, and integrity of Parliament. This House expresses itself its displeasure, disappointment, the conduct of the Speaker, and censures him. Madam Speaker, as I was earlier saying, I want to table the statements of fact as demanded by our Standing Orders 91. If you allow, they are both in hard and soft copy. Okay, I beg also, Madam Speaker, against Standing Order 82, that notwithstanding limitation to read, because of the veracity of this particular motion, I would like to be for you to rule that I be allowed to read a speech, notwithstanding 81.
Order members here. No, Honorable Musimba, order. Honorable Musimba, can you just summarize what you need to say instead of reading out a speech, like we are always doing during debate? Just do what we normally do in debate. This is not any different.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your direction.
Members, order.
Kindly give me time.
Honorable members.
I want to start with the words within the summit.
Honorable members, I do not want to resort to throwing people out of the chamber. Honorable members, let us give him, this motion was allowed. Therefore, it has to be prosecuted. Allow him to move, whoever is seconding, and we will proceed in the manner that we always do. Honorable members, please, let's give Musimba a chance, since it has, this is.
So I want to start with the words in the psalmist. Thank you, Madam Speaker. In Psalms 121, I lift my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade on your right hand, and the sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm.
Honorable Musimba,
and then he will watch over your coming
the Honorable
and going.
Musimba, honestly, we said stick to the motion that you have given us before.
Yeah, Nishasoma.
Honorable Musimba.
Madam Speaker.
Order, members, order.
Madam Speaker, the preamble of our Constitution, preamble of our Constitution, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members.
Madam Speaker, the preamble of our Constitution of Kenya bestows upon this House the supremacy, the legislative authority, to govern on behalf of the people of the Republic of Kenya. It carries and espouses our aspirations that our people do elect us to do. And it is in this edith and in the true spirit of the Kenyan people that you see that all Kenyans, and it is important for me to reiterate this, I'm an independent member of parliament. I believe I belong to the coalition of all Kenyans, and I believe firmly that there is no Jubilee Kenya, no Code Kenya. There's only one Republic of Kenya. The roles of parliament are stipulated in our Articles 94 and 95 of our Constitution. Prefer upon this assembly the powers to look over their welfare, achieve their aspiration. For Kenyans are indeed very hardworking people. They are full of resilience. And despite all odds in the history, on the 51-year history of this nation, have completed the office of the Speaker, Madam Speaker, as espoused in the Article 107 of this Constitution, is a serious office, indeed a constitutional one. And ascension to this is as guided within Article 106, and upon which Article 97(1)(d) makes the Speaker a member of this Parliament. And in reading articles within Chapter 6, the Speaker is held to account as a state officer, as the face and voice of this National Assembly. And in his capacity as the chairman of the Parliamentary Service Commission, he oversees indeed the role both houses in the manner and to which we conduct our businesses. Indeed, his primary responsibility, Madam Chair, is in protecting the dignity and integrity of the National Assembly. The requirement that Parliament must retain the confidence of the Kenyan people is best espoused by the fact that over 10,000 members have gone through this House, and all look unto us to keep this esteem for posterity, that the futures of this great republic look upon this assembly. And this assembly represents the faces of 42 million Kenyans. And the actions by our Speaker in degrading members through utterances, get to that, poses a great security threat to this nation. Because if our people we represent, lose faith in Parliament, anarchy will prevail. Because we are the epitomization of the rule of law. Just to cite the Speaker, at the opening address of this August House, he describes Parliament, and indeed accurately, as the citadel of our democracy, through which the nation knows the political philosophy, economic strategy of our government in governance of the people of the Republic of Kenya. This, the letter and spirit of our Constitution, and indeed the embodiment within our national anthem, is important to be upheld as it keeps to restore the public confidence. Standing Order number 98 of this House gives the Speaker responsibility to preserve order, decorum in protecting the integrity of this House, which the Speaker has failed in doing, as will be enumerated as I move on. And parliamentary language. The communications by the Speaker, on numerous occasions have been, in my opinion, my humble opinion, unparliamentary. Because if you are to repeat the same words within this House as a member, you would suffer the wrath as written in our Standing Order number 108 through to 112. And in various occasions, members have occasioned this by walking out of the House in a sign of protest. These disrespectful utterances or general reflections on Parliament as a whole, individually, should not and never be permitted. Especially remarks directed to specific groups or generally, because they offend Article 35, which gives us the freedom of speech, and indeed, that is the sacred privilege within this House, so long as it's within the rule of law. Any other member, and indeed the Speaker, as I said earlier, is a member of this House and should be held to the highest accord as an example of our House. It is said, the very essence of leadership is the ability to instill in people a hope of success and a belief in themselves, and empower people to accomplish their goals. In our case, represent, legislate, oversight the executive on behalf of the Kenyan people. The proceedings of the House are based on a long-standing tradition of respect for the integrity of members, and abusive and insultive languages cannot and will not be tolerated. What you wonder is when that questionable language comes from the Honorable Speaker himself, because convention tells us in all legislative assemblies around the world that you cannot challenge the communication from the chair. And it's not just said in jest, but the tone and manner and intention of the Honorable Speaker's communication on several occasions has diminished the standing of this esteemed House when the members find utterances which are defamatory, impugning of ulterior motives, charging falsehood and deception, claiming lack of intelligence and knowledge, reference to race, creed, or prejudice, and charges relating to loyalty or patriotism. Instances of unparliamentary language. On the 11th of February, 2015, the Honorable Speaker is cited as saying, "Who is that walking through Honorable Member for Muoroni, walking as though he's walking through Muoroni constituency?" This offends greatly our people. 2, I will not listen to anyone. He says, "What is that one doing now?" We look, this is not your property. This was espoused on 18 February 2015. It is not your property. This is not a marketplace. You cannot just be walking. Can you finish? Allow me. You'll have your say. Can you finish? Say it quickly. What a statement. This is not a public rally. Order, honorable members, including the honorable member in Buibui. This offends many. Order, Honorable Arati. Take your seat.
Order,
take
members.
Your seat. Do not talk to me now. Order. Order, members. Honorable Momanyi, you think you may not be seen because of your vertical challenge, but we can still see you. But I want to say the member for Burabu is with no doubt of stature in Burabu and indeed around the country. It does not matter whether you are point of order or not. Order, members. If you choose indolence, you will have just to live with it. Honorable Midio, you are always, regarding today, you can say no, because that may be your nature. However, the matter is over. Honorable member with a bald head, receding hairline, and white beard, the one behind there. This is not the way to refer to a member.
Order, members.
This is not another instance.
Order, members. Remember, we asked him to substantiate. Order, members, order. Order, members.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is not
Honorable
Kibera.
members.
This is not Kibera. You should not shout across the House. And to which, this is not Kibera, and we are not selling fish. The Honorable Speaker stated in his communications regards disorderly conduct and utterances on other members. Because there's the edith within law which says, he who seeks equity must come to equity with clean hands. To exercise your privilege of free speech while maintaining courtesy of language towards other members in debate and the proper decorum as befits your stature. Utterances to the contrary compromise the sanctity, sanity, integrity, and competence, and the respect for the rule of law in Parliament. Discipline and order in the House. Our National Assembly does not exist in a vacuum, but is part of a greater commonwealth of legislatures around the world. And as is the case, we have representatives towards the Pan-African Parliament. We are collectively responsible for the discipline and order in the House. We shall be judged for the quality of our service and how we relate within and out of the House. Standing Order number 98 through to 112 provides remedies to the Speaker as to anyone who breaches this particular provision. This is bringing parliamentary image to the lowest echelons possible, and indeed threatens the powers, privileges, and immunities that have been accorded to members of this esteemed House. The Honorable Speaker is aware that the right of freedom to speech comes with the responsibility of preserving the trust of the House and upholding the sanctity of the National Assembly. Because for this to be watered down, then what are our people to have hope towards to? Because we are indeed the last line of defense. In order to protect the integrity of the National Assembly, it is necessary to give a fair hearing to all members, to show bias in selection of who shall contribute to debates, dilute the voice of the representatives of this nation in House matters or issues where the member might differ in opinion, recognizing legitimacy of a voice, however small, is loud and echoes to eternity.